Well, I'm glad we got our got a win to begin the season, but I'd be up here lying if I told you I was at all pleased with any of that tonight. We have game goals, as you guys know, throughout every game. And, I thought we were lackluster getting out to, and again, I know they shot a lot of threes, but to give up, what was it, 11 of those? Is that what we gave up? 11 of those? Unacceptable. We had some miscues defensively. We switched when we weren't supposed to switch. We helped off a strong side when we weren't supposed to help off a strong side. We just did a lot of undisciplined things, and that are not characteristic of our basketball team. And so I'm disappointed that we were not more sound defensively. We were not a more disciplined team defensively. I thought we, offensively, in the first half in particular, got a little bit carried away with it's just taking too many outside shots when our clear advantage was on the inside. That's disappointing because I think we're a smart team. And our advantage was clearly in the low post tonight. And we started figuring that out a little bit in the second half. But it shouldn't take halftime to make that correction, not when you have an older team the way we have. And disappointed in our turnovers, careless turnovers. Whether that was just not focused, I don't know. But definitely not the way I wanted to open our season. A win, sure, but this performance tonight will not win you any Big Ten game.
Teri, it seemed like defensively, I think Brown started 1 of 10, but then it kind of plateaued after that. Do you have any idea why that might have been in terms of, because they basically played you even after that?
Yeah, I don't have any good reason I could sit up here and try to make some stuff up, Todd. I just, as I mentioned to you, I went back in the second half, and after the first half, we tried to talk. And I felt like we went rogue. I just told them, it's just the undisciplined piece. So then I gave them another goal in the second half of what we gave up. How many points in the first half, Megan? 21? What was it? In the first half. The first half. The first half was 21, yeah. Okay, we gave up 21 points, correct? So their game goal the rest of the way out was needed to be under 40, under 45 points. That was my game goal for them. And then clearly, just lost. And again, this is a team that is playing without 2 of their 4s and 5s that are really good. And so we knew that we suspected that they would play small with a lot of 3s. But we're going to play teams that are going to play a 5-out that can all shoot it. And if we don't quickly start to figure some things out with our lack of urgency, then, which we didn't have tonight, then that's going to be a problem for us as we head into the year. And so there's going to be some really good, I think, film for our guys to be able to see themselves in just, where the slippage was and how it has to get corrected. And it has to get corrected really fast because we got a really good Harvard team coming in here that plays similar to the way Brown plays.
Yeah, I mean, you've a veteran coach. Do you have a read of a team going into it where you're worried like that something like this could happen? Or was this like something you saw in practice maybe, or is this a surprise to you that, some of these things, the undisciplined, careless words you use?
Very surprised. Very surprised. This is a team that's been very excited about the beginning of the season, and their focus, we're without some of our, we're without a couple of our guards right now, with Beaumont and Lex is such a great defender. We miss her. We miss her really. And And so, but I don't want to give any excuses to, not having players and that, I got to do a better job of getting their attention and, really, putting their feet to the fire, holding them more accountable, because, we do a lot of really good things in practice against our squad, our black squad. We've had a lot of really good moments where we've gotten the stops, and they're hard to guard. They're guys and they're athletic and they're quicker than we are, and so, I've liked a lot of things. I just didn't transfer into the game tonight. I thought Chloe was lethargic, didn't have much energy at the point. She's our leader. She has to be better. There were some bright spots, and we'll find them. I thought Sid had a couple moments. Yarden had a couple moments. Shea just plays hard. Lily, efficient. Strip came in, didn't play great against, in our exhibition game and played really well tonight. So that was good to see offensively. But you guys know me well enough to know that, yes, I'm ticked off at the turnovers, but I'm more concerned right now about us getting our identity. We're a defensive-minded team, and we haven't we did not display that tonight, and that really bothers me.
Teri, you've said a couple times now that you guys played undisciplined tonight. How do you fix that?
That's just what I said. They're gonna have to watch. They're gonna have to watch film, but we have to do a better job. I have to do a better job along with our staff of making sure that how we do things, the way we do them, when we do them, doing them correctly, doing them right with consistency, day in and day out of practice. That will find you time, And it's like the old Coach Knight comment, the best way sometimes is they got to sit next to you to start to figure some things out. And if we have to do that, we'll do that because I have to get their attention somehow.
Teri, continuing on the defense, it looked like you guys kind of iced and tried to keep a lot of things away from the middle of the court tonight. Just what went into the decision to play that way?
Well, that's how we're going to try to play. We've went into the season with a defensive plan of how we want to guard wing ball screens, high ball screens, and we've been repping like crazy. Some ice, some of that. So we got to get better at it. There's no doubt. But it's something that we feel confident in being able to do.
Teri, I can barely remember you being this frustrated up there after a win before. I guess just how much of this do you feel like is, you have a lot of new pieces coming together starting the season, you're still kind of figuring things out, and how much is kind of real long-term concerns?
Yeah. Well, and again, Seth, I have a tremendous amount of patience, and trust me when I tell you, I have, before I came in here, I thought of all those things, right? It's the first game. There's still butterflies for some of these guys, but it's just unacceptable to me that we gave up 11 threes. It just is, and so that bothers me. It bothers me that we don't have more pride. It bothers me that I have to go into halftime and have those conversations about being undisciplined. We left a shooter off the strong side. We never do that. We switched a guard to 5 ball screen. We never do that. So it's those little things that if you don't nip it in the butt real quick, those are the things that are going to get your ass beat. And our kids know that. And if I don't address it now, then I can't wait down the road, right? I can't wait till Thursday to address it and say, gosh, I hope you guys do a lot better than you did the other night. I got to address it tomorrow morning when we show back up for film.
Teri, it seems like you substituted very heavily, very early. Mm-hmm. Was that by design? Did you know you were going to run a lot of players?
Yeah, Lou, I think we feel really comfortable with, our substitution, and Henna has been terrific. Strip has been terrific. as I mentioned, we're a little bit short in the guard spot right now without Beaumont and Lex. So, our rotation has to be, we have to be pretty mindful of what that's going to look like. We got to make sure we have point guards out there on the floor at all times. And the great thing is that, Shea, Chloe, and then Yarden, can give us minutes there. We got to keep them out of foul trouble. We got to keep them healthy. We played Jules even a little bit at the guard spot today. We did that the other night as well. So we're trying to steal some minutes, from Juliana as well, being kind of going back from the 3 to the 4. And so, yeah, we're playing a lot of kids right now.
Right after Brown went on that 9-0 run late in the third, Sydney had an and one, and then went on to score 8 in the fourth quarter. Even when you're not playing at your best as a team, how important is it to have veterans like Sydney in there to get the win?
Really important, really important that your veterans become the voice in those moments, in those timeouts, a player-led team is far better than a coach-led team. And when you have players like Sid, and usually Chloe, and Yarden at times, Shea has a great voice, but they need to be having those conversations before I get to the timeout, right? They need to be holding each other accountable, wanting individually to play with greater pride, collectively wanting to play with greater pride. They need to be coaching each other up.
Shea struggled with her shot tonight, but still found her way to the basket, driving and getting a body on the board. And what were you saying to her when she was struggling to shoot, and what does that show the type of player that she is?
Again, when I don't say anything to any of those kids that are going to come in and do more than what's required. And Shay's one of those kids. She lives in the gym. She does. And so I have every ounce of faith in all of those kids that are going to take those shots because they work on them every single day, and they work on them outside of practice time. And so the only problem I would have is if those kids didn't work on those shots, but they do. That's where their confidence comes from. We've always talked about that. Your work is where it comes from, and so you just try to keep pouring into her that those are good shots. But going back to the threes that we were taking on those nights that your shot's not falling, she found different ways to score the ball. But I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Our advantage was on the inside tonight. We needed to pound that thing in more so than take a number of outside shots that we took. And as I told him, there's going to be some nights where our advantage is not on the inside, right? And so, but tonight, we should be a smart enough ball team to understand that we need to get the ball inside.